plan of what you wanna do. Won't you listen to the man that's loving you? The world keeps spinning and you can't jump off, but I will catch you if you fall. I can't tell you enough. I hate to hear that you're feeling low. I hate to hear that you won't come home. Oh, why should we care for what they're selling us anyway? We're so younger, and you don't have to be there, babe. You don't have to be scared, babe. You don't need a plan. What you wanna do? Won't you listen to the man that's loving you? Easy, easy, and a 1, 2, 3. Easy breezy, won't you come with me? Easy, easy, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 9, 9. Why should we care for what they're selling us anyway? We're so younger, and you don't have to be there, babe. You don't have to be scared, babe. You don't need a plan. What you wanna do? Won't you listen to the man that's loving you? Shadows settle on the place that you left. Our minds are troubled by the emptiness. Destroy the middle, it's a waste of time. From the perfect start to the finish line. And if you're still breathing, you're the lucky ones. 'Cause most of us are heaving through corrupted lungs. We're setting fire to our insides for fun. Collecting names of the lovers that went wrong. The lovers that went wrong. We are the reckless, we are the wild youth.
Well, hey everyone, welcome. Oh, I'll turn. How about I turn Cogda? Welcome to the happy hour, everyone. Sorry about the sudden spike in music. Kevin and I were actually like watching a Buddy Holly thing, and I think before we came on air. Oh wait, hold on, don't say.
Cool. That's what all the cool streamers do. Listen to Buddy Holly songs to try and work out what the words actually are. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So we were trying to.
What all the cool kids are doing in 1954.
We were actually watching a Buddy Holly thing. Anyway, I think I touched a button and Cog just shot up a bar. No, there was something.
No, he shot up a fucking syringe of cat right into the vein. Nice. No, ketamine.
Ket. I thought you said cat, and then suddenly I was like, why was he putting feline hormones?
Yeah, I inject
is that to get the
straight
sound
into my veins
when he sings
definitely.
the song? He gets the right feline tones.
Hey, shut up now. What are we doing? What are we doing, Kristi? What are any of us doing?
Well, that's a good question, just existentially, considering the fleeting time we have on this earth. You guys chose to spend with us. But since you're here, I guess we might as well entertain you.
Well, I'd say what I was doing today. I spent a weird afternoon because this will give you an insight into why my brain is frazzled. I was thinking about Paul Joseph Watson, as you do, because it's a football thing. Anyway, he supports Sheffield Wednesday and they're on the TV. Whatever.
Which is an awesome, by the way, best football team name ever.
No,
I don't know.
The Wednesdays. Accrington Stanley's pretty cool.
Yeah, but who else is called a day of the week?
Good point.
Mm.
Yes. Anyway. Oh, Jesus.
The
Anyway,
Sheffield
right.
Wednesdays.
Shoot me. Just fucking shit. Anyway, right. In Minecraft. So, anyway, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about the back in the day when he was, because it was like old photos and old videos of him. He'd be wearing a Sheffield Wednesday thing. So I was thinking about that in my head and thinking that was when he used to believe in like all the alien lizard conspiracy stuff, right? The idea that the lizards are in human suits and blah, blah, blah. And I remember him saying once that that wasn't a conspiracy, right? And it sparked a thing in my mind, thinking to myself, well, how could that not be a conspiracy? Because they'd have to communicate. And then it dawned on me, the one way it wouldn't be is if all the lizards individually thought they were the only lizard in a human suit. And so they were all completely lost in a sea of like loneliness, thinking I'm the only lizard on this planet in a human suit. And actually all of them are lizards in human suits, all going through the same loneliness. It's really tragic. Anyway, that was how I spent my afternoon.
So that's a walk through Kevin's mind.
Yeah, and I was thinking to myself, I mean, they're not nice people necessarily, but come out to the world, lizards. Come out and show what you are, a true, open, intergalactic scaly boy.
Yeah,
that's what we need.
There might be people who reject you, but there are going to be a lot of people who accept you too.
Exactly. But there are some of them, like, let's be honest, Roger Ailes, I mean, he's dead now, but, you know, that was not a convincing lizard suit he was wearing, was it? Do you know what I mean? Like, what a lazy, scaly bastard.
So welcome to the Happy Hour, everyone. The topical politics show where you come to get the latest news and YouTube drama. And also ramblings about lizards. Bloody holly and lizards. I did not think I'd be talking about that on air tonight. Well, funny, you know, when I was hanging out with my friend earlier tonight, he was trying to describe a party. He's like, you remember, okay, so we went to Jameson's and I was dressed as a banana. That's how it started.
As you do.
Yeah, because it was carnival time. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that party. Because a banana stands out as a party outfit. Anyway, on random things that were said. I guess we should talk. We're going to talk about YouTube dramas, which is going to require a content warning. And then we're going to talk about real world dramas.
No, I thought we were going to do the Superb Tuesdays first. Not to be confused with the Sheffield Wednesdays.
Oh, okay. Well, I see. Actually, I had this up because I thought we were doing it in the exact opposite order. So.
Well, no, I thought we'd do Super Tuesday. Then there's I told you before. I told you this, Kristi.
No, I'm.
There's a linking tweet, which then is a perfect segue into this fucking twat.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about next. And is there anything you want me to bring up visually, or should I?
My penis.
I can't put your penis on my screen.
Well, not with that attitude, no.
No, mostly because I'm screen sharing, and you don't have your camera on. And YouTube would shut me down.
No, because I wouldn't be able to see. It's too small to be seen by the human eye, so it's fine.
And you're in a very dim room.
Exactly. Even in your high resolution, you're going to have to strain the eyes.
A lot of grainy. And, of course, you're moving all the time. It's violent, sexy dancing, so it's also really hard.
Exactly. It's just a blur.
Grainy,
when you move your hand across the screen too fast, and it looks like it's 4 different hands. It's like that. But
or like one very fuzzy hand.
I've got one massive fuzzy penis, yes.
I've got a massive fuzzy penis, Kevin Logan, 2020.
Exactly.
Hashtag fuzzy penis.
Which just sounds like you need to wash it more often, really. Oh, collecting bits. Ooh.
Oh, man.
Anyway, so apparently in America there was some democracy happened.
Yeah, well, there was so much stuff that it came pouring out of my head. I had to put it on YouTube. I like literally my brain was melting. Last night was undoubtedly one of the most like memorable political nights, just in terms of sheer drama and also surprise. Lots of times polling is pretty good, but I'll tell you when polling is really bad, when people don't make up their minds until 3 days before the election. And that just means that there's, especially when you have people who are making their minds up late and who aren't firm in their candidate, they're liable to swing in very violent directions, I guess, not the real, but in massive directions.
Yeah.
But people who watch my channel know that I did a whole hour on this when I only meant to do 20 minutes earlier today.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was it was really interesting. Biden did exceptionally well compared to where he was expected to be. And like you said, the late deciders were fascinating because even in Vermont, which obviously Sanders won really handily, as you'd expect, being his home state and all that, I think it was something like 60% of those who decided in the 48 hours before the poll.
Yeah.
60% went with Biden.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, okay, it's Vermont and there are like 12 people, so who cares? But the point being that, the 60%, that's significant.
That was repeated.
That's a real seismic shift in what it was even 48 hours beforehand.
Yeah. Had you watched my stream longer, the Washington Post has a fantastic interactive map where it goes by all of the Super Tuesday states, and then you can click on it and it has the exit polls when they have enough information to break it down by crosstabs.
Break it down.
Yeah, the constant theme was like 48 to 50 some percent of people were deciding quite late, and a big chunk of those disproportionately were going to Biden. So I think go ahead. You go ahead.
I was just going to say, I have to say, you may have seen the hashtag rigged primaries was trending on Twitter and stuff, and clearly it fucking was obviously rigged against the one true candidate, Michael Bloomberg,
who dropped out today.
Yeah, outrageous. It's been robbed.
It's
been robbed. All of us Bloomaniacs need to go to Wisconsin, need to go to Canada and to Milwaukee and put the whole town under lockdown until they make the righteous leader of the earth, Michael Bloomberg, the president of the United States of America, nuts.
Yeah, it was. The dropping out after Super Tuesday was a pride thing. Really, he knew the numbers. I think long before. My favorite number ever. It's a rough estimate of how much he spent, so the numbers aren't exact. You mean the American Samoa delegates he picked up?
Well, yeah, he won American Samoa. Yes,
Tulsi Gabbard
Samoa,
is pretty,
as it should be pronounced.
Tulsi Gabbard was robbed, man.
Yeah.
Tulsi Gabbard was robbed of those 4 delegates.
Well, he won 4 out of the 6 or whatever, didn't he? And
she got 2. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, fair enough. Which I think, does that triple her previous count or something ridiculous? Anyway.
Yeah, infinitely more than she had before.
Yeah. Michael Bloomberg, considering the amount of money he spent and the delegates he has, each delegate has cost him $24 million.
No, that's disgusting, but it's also really
$24 million per fucking delegate.
I mean,
it would have been better business for him to have bribed each of those people with $12 million and saved half the money, not had to go on TV and be made to look a prick. Why did he do this?
I think the one thing you can say about the Bloomberg money is that he hired a lot of staff. He rented a lot of offices. He did a lot of printing. He hired a lot of consultants. He actually created, there's probably like 50 people who worked on each one of those delegates.
Fucking hell. What is there ever been a bigger waste of money?
Well,
he might as well have burnt the fucking money.
Look at the complete opposite side of that chart, right? Joe Biden had 1 office in Virginia. I don't even think he went to Virginia. He didn't go to Massachusetts. He didn't have
I don't think he knows where Virginia is.
He didn't have
It's just a thing.
I think we need to the whole Alzheimer's thing anyway. No,
I wasn't doing an Alzheimer's joke. I was just saying he doesn't know. He'd not been there. It's not a thing to him.
Yeah, and yet he won Massachusetts. He took it from. Yeah, he won Virginia. He spent no money on that. And I talked about in my show, there's actually a debate in political science. Do campaigns matter? If you didn't have a campaign and you had an election, would the result be any different? Like when you look at the start of a campaign where candidates start and the end of the campaign, is there ever that much movement? And as I said on the show, or I did earlier, this election gives you a case for both. Because on the one hand, it was James Clyburn in South Carolina and what happened kind of like on the Biden campaign there that set up the Super Tuesday effect or result. But Biden's campaign didn't make Super Tuesday happen.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think he's better placed to have that kind of result in the sense that name recognition
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Well, is impossible to buy, really.
Oh, yeah. And people voted for him. People voted for Obama Biden twice.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, yeah. And I think that's a key component to how well he did with black folks.
Exactly,
is that,
yeah.
Like, we liked Obama. We liked that era. Like, okay, cool, let's go with that dude. Look, if my choices are two old white people, I'll go with the one who at least had a black friend. Do you know what I mean?
Hey, the African Americans and black voters have been having to vote for shitty white candidates since ever.
Well, yeah, since they could vote, yeah.
Yeah, because that's pretty much their choices, which is why they're so damn pragmatic and, Like,
I get it. And it's so disappointing to see some of the left's reaction to that. Some of it has been bordering on, frankly, the racist, talking down to people of colour, saying you shouldn't vote for. Now, I don't think they should vote for Joe Biden because he's a dick and he's a creepy, touchy old fucking knob. But the point is, they've made that decision, and if we're going to be good allies, we have to try and understand why they've made that decision,
exactly,
and respect the fact that they have made that decision because it's a fucking democracy, okay? And anyone out there who's like, it's rigged, please fuck off. I'm not interested in your bullshit, okay? Some of you out there, and again, I'm not going to name any names here, have been sounding very Alex Jones.
Now, I did see that like the Russians were pushing that as well. So is this people accounts that that were kind of going overboard, or just randos?
Well, I mean, I've never met them, so I can't confirm they
but
weren't
they're not
ever Russian bots, but I suspect they're not.
Okay.
I've followed them for a while.
All right, fair enough.
Generally, I know where they are at politically, and yeah, they've been really awful. Like, the fact that the centrist candidates stepped aside so that the best placed centrist candidate could win is called politics. That's what that is. The fact that anyone was surprised that Pete Buttigieg went with Joe Biden, why?
Yeah, why would you be
basically
surprised
Joe Biden, but 40 years younger, or 30, whatever. It's the same fucking person, basically. Why is anyone surprised that Amy Klobuchar would go for him, or Beto O'Rourke? That's how politics works. The fact that the two vaguely leftist candidates, the Warren and
economically
Sanders,
leftist is really the division here, because everyone on that stage is pro-choice and for gun safety, for civil rights, for Violence Against Women Act, for getting kids out of cages.
Yeah, I'm talking more specific. If you
economic.
But if you just look at the compared to, well, those people are more centrist, those people are more left. That's what I mean. The fact that the two most left of the candidates available haven't been able to unite and choose one of the two to go forward, and have therefore split each other's votes to some extent.
But have they? Have they?
Well, that's the thing. Warren is,
I think Warren is for Biden people who don't want Biden but don't want Bernie. And she's got her own supporters, but I think there are people there who land there because they don't want
third in her own state.
That's not good. Yeah, but I'm talking about her supporters generally. They tend to lean college-educated white women in the suburbs are Warren supporters.
Yeah, but there's certainly as she's got more of a leftist heritage behind her, and certainly there was she's softened her tone a little bit and tried to be more the candidate of unity thing, but essentially she's still, to an extent, siphoning off some votes, I think, from Bernie.
Yeah, but I think that in terms
and the fact that that's happened shouldn't be surprising to anyone. The only people that can be surprised by that are these kind of nouveau leftist in quotation marks pricks on the internet, because the left has never been able to unite. It doesn't happen.
Yeah, so the whole point is that we're diverse.
Yeah.
We're not all white Christians, evangelicals in the Protestant tradition,
Yeah, hence, Bernie Sanders, the Jewish guy. Yeah, there's differences there. But the left has never been able to unite in that way. And it's actually, we'll get onto it in a bit, but the thread that I sent you to, which you'd already read in the week, you may have seen it. It'll prop up in the discussion we'll have later. But that
a really good thread,
so perfectly. It's such a wonderful. Even though it's long, it's concise because it's a way deeper topic than you can really even get into on Twitter.
Yeah, you could do an hour on your YouTube.
That nouveau leftist grifty bullshit.
We're talking about the thread about the Occupy Wall Street and the sort of toxic white dude approach that she sees also in the Chapo the author did.
And surprise, surprise, the toxic white dudes didn't like it. I am fucking surprised.
And their stands.
Yeah, exactly. And the toxic white women as well, who were part of all of that shit. Not naming any names, shoe on head. Anyway, so the that kind of nouveau leftist idiocy, not understanding anything of the complexities of how these things work, and talking down to people of colour who dared to vote for anyone but their candidate. And it's kind of disgusting. And that's, I mean, my annoyance, the fact that Bernie didn't do well, because I want him to win. I think he would be the best of the lot. Is mollified to some extent by the fact that these pricks are also annoyed. Like, that for me is something.
That's a little bit of Schadenfreude.
Yeah, I'm searching for I'm clutching at the straws here, but it's something, you know. The fact that they're so annoyed by that, good. You deserve to be annoyed. You're fucking garbage.
Well, for me, I mean, and the race isn't over. And I said,
not by a long stretch,
right.
Yeah.
And I said in the show, what I think Bernie needs to do is he needs to stop running against the party and start presenting a vision of what he sees America as and include people, create a vision where people can picture themselves in the America he wants. Because a lot of his rhetoric is, we want environmental justice, so we want to stop big pollution. And we want to do this, and we're going to break up the big banks. And he always ties it to an economic thing. And he never, I mean, Joe Biden, for all his faults, Pete Buttigieg does this well. I haven't listened to Warren as much, but I think she's capable of it, is that sort of Obama thing, where he talked about the red America and blue America, and there's just Americans, and we need that. I mean, eventually a nominee has to be unified.
Would be a purple America.
Yeah, in some ways.
Just
I like
mix
purple.
it
It's my favorite color, so I like it over there. But I think that's what he needs to do, is he needs to start bringing more people by connecting with them, and also having a more positive, I think, vision. And he did put out an ad. He did put out an ad today trying to cozy up to Barack Obama. A lot of pictures of him and Obama, and in it he talks about wanting to discuss the issues.
I don't think after you try to primary him as president, so that's really going to fly. Like, what did you think he was going to go? Oh yeah, let's forget all about it.
Yeah.
Like, come on, that's a bit silly.
But hey, I'm going to give him points for trying, because he realized.
No, absolutely, that's good. But I mean, you should have learned from 2016.
Yeah, but I think
he genuinely sort of seems to have bought into the "I was robbed in 2016" bit, because
if only it was fair, I would have won.
Rules. Yeah, a lot of the primary rules that he wanted changed got changed. Yeah. So he's running under the system that he, at least in part, designed, and he's still fucking losing as such. But he's not prospering in the way that he was hoping to. So rather than fix the actual problems that he had in 2016, was the fact that he didn't connect with black voters in the way that he wanted to, and that he should be able to. And like you say, not necessarily looking outside of his base to a broader coalition of people. He hasn't reached across in those ways. And that's a shame.
Yeah.
That's a real shame, because he could genuinely, if you put forward that more, I mean, it's kind of pablum to a degree, that kind of, we're all one America thing.
People don't vote with their brains, we vote with our hearts.
Yeah.
You have to connect with people's hearts, and ultimately what you want from, when you think about the future, is you want hope and you want better. And of course, the Republicans, their better is a whiter America with fewer brown people and walls everywhere and just, whatever. But for Democrats, we want to think of ourselves as people who can, bring in a lot of people and have a place where there's tolerance. And that's the kind of stuff like that. You need to build that emotional connection to the future you see for the country. And you can say it's pablum and posturing, but ultimately, when people go in, they're voting with their emotions. Yeah.
It is, in the sense that it's sort of meaningless in a way, but it's just essentially giving, like you say, it's giving people the feels.
Yeah.
Which does gets them to the polls.
Because,
but
they're voting for something.
It's too late now, really. Like Bernie's had 4 years. Well, actually, he's had fucking decades, but realistically, as a frontline potential candidate for the presidency, he's had 4 years now to connect with those people, and hasn't. Now, he may have tried, I'm sure he has tried, but just saying economic justice or environmental justice will help African Americans, well, yeah, that's true, but everyone else is saying that as well. But they're also,
talking about criminal justice reform and issues that matter to Black Lives Matter. And They're talking about specific identity politics policies.
Yeah, he can't get past the fact that, Joe Biden has a very influential and popular black friend, let's say. But you can mitigate that. You can take the edge off that by not allowing him that territory, basically, unchallenged. It's not even massively complicated politics, and that's what's really sort of annoying, because he should be better than this. He's been around long enough. He knows this.
Yeah, I just feel
he does.
Yeah, so a couple of things while you were talking came up in my mind. One thing that also might have, last time the whole I was robbed narrative, right? So him thinking that if he can just rerun 2016, but with fairer rules, that there would be that he would win in that scenario.
Yeah.
But we looked during my hour at Oklahoma. Now, in 2016, Bernie won Oklahoma. He got like 51.
Oklahoma.
I did that too. 51 points.
That's
something.
the only thing. Other than the Thunder, the basketball franchise, no one knows anything about Oklahoma. Yeah. Does it even exist? I'm not entirely convinced.
It might just pretend to exist. And there's just lines. And you missed
it's
Oklahoma.
It's got a panhandle. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, there's quite a lot of panhandles. The Florida panhandle. Texas has one too, don't they? Anyway.
I think it's... what country is it? I forget. Anyway, it's got 2 panhandles. It's one of the African ones.
Oh, very exciting.
All based on imperialism from the European powers. What a surprise, I know. Yeah. Including one panhandle, which was an amazing story. I think it was the Belgians or something. Anyway, one of the crown princes wanted access to a certain river to go rafting on. So they just redrew the boundaries and cut across tribal lines so that he could have legal access to this river to go rafting in.
Ridiculous.
Because that's what you can do when you just take over a place. Yeah. Amazing. Anyway.
Back to Oklahoma.
Sorry, yeah, go on.
Thanks, Chris, by the way. Only Castro said reproductive justice. Oh, Julio Castro. Yeah. Well, yes, if I framed reproductive justice as an economic issue, then maybe Bernie would talk about the importance of of contraception to the timing and family budget. But anyway, Oklahoma. And Clinton got like 46 or 48, I can't remember. But he beat her. He not only sort of beat her in the total vote, but
I was
there
for this. Sorry,
no, not now, Todd. And we'll explain that in a minute. Clinton won 2 counties, and Bernie just won everything else. Just everything else.
Solid green.
We looked at Biden, and Biden just wiped him out everywhere. And one of the things that we do forget was that maybe up to 10% of the Bernie vote was just the anti-Clinton bump. Across the board, or maybe it was 15%. And so I think he maybe overestimated how broad his support was absent a Clinton in the race.
And not just that, but with it being a solid 2-candidate race all the way through.
Yeah.
So he only had one line of attack to need to take and only one to give reply to. Whereas you saw in some of the debates when there were 3 or 4 ganging up on him, which to be fair is not nice. Like when you get dogpiled in any situation,
runner, you got to want to
exactly.
smoke.
That's going to happen.
Yeah, that's going to come. You can't get annoyed at that. Well, I mean, you can get annoyed at it, but it's going to.
And it's still going to happen, even though. But even now it's settled into a 2-horse race. I think it will be genuinely quite interesting to see which way they go with it.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll talk a little bit about what states are coming up, but one other thing on that. So when it comes to the black vote, it was also the older demographic. So, Bernie did, as it has had in the past, especially well with under 25s, but they were running at 13 to maybe 19, 20% of the total turnout.
I've said this before, and it bears repeating. If you base your campaign on young people, you're going to lose.
Yeah, they put you over the edge.
Exactly. Yeah, even like Barack Obama, who did really well in young people, even that's embarrassingly poor in terms of the overall percentage of younger people who voted in that election. And he did well in that election because young people don't fucking vote. You've seen it time after time. Corbyn had huge swaths of the young vote, but they didn't turn out, so he fucking lost consistently. It's a shame.
Also, we tend to frame
Brexit.
You turn out as college students, and a lot of students aren't at college to get. Oh, so the other thing too on turnout is we tend to unconsciously, I think, frame turnout in terms of college universities and college age students and college activism. Like in the United States, 2/3 or 60% of people don't go to college. They're not mobilized in that way.
Yeah.
So they just kind of, that who I think was Bernie was trying to get his followers, or his supporters, I should say, is a better word, to mobilize. But then you got to find them, and then you got to connect with them, and win them over. And they're a very hard group to turn out. Yeah. So I just wanted to echo that point.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely. Now I was just going to make the point about Brexit. If you look at the age differences,
Oh yeah,
it was huge swing, but again, old people turned out, and it went the way it went.
yeah, and
They
this
turn
is,
out,
yeah,
and that doesn't mean fuck young people. You shouldn't care, but when it comes to actually practically winning elections, you need to get older people to vote for you. So even if you have to lie to them, I mean, it's not nice. It's cynical. It's Machiavellian. I don't fucking care anymore. I don't care. The time for principled, absolutist, we need to be whiter than white, cleaner than clean. I don't fucking care anymore. I'm sick of losing.
all right. Well, I mean,
Grim,
coming from
jaded,
a
but
Brexit
true.
position, yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the element that Bernie Joe Rogan pointed to it as his strength, the fact that he's so consistent. He's been saying the same thing. For Bernie to change his message, what would Bernie say to a woman in the suburbs who's worried about her 401k? If you switch the conversation to M4A, you're not actually addressing her concerns. You're basically saying, here's where you fit into my ideology, not here's how I solve the problem, my policies solve the problems of your life.
Yeah,
see the difference?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly true. It's a point we made before about the class reductionist element of it, and I don't think Bernie's by any means the worst in that regard, but there's an element of that there. Like, he's a certain kind of monotone approach to it, which is a shame. Like I say, just saying economic justice is good for black kids, yeah, that's true, but give me a bit more. We need something a bit more fucking individualized, personalized, whatever. Yeah, and not just that, but like you say, that not changing your principles is one thing. I think that's perfectly fine and a positive thing. But not changing your approach is ridiculous. When you do a thing and you lose, you can't just assume it's the system. Especially now, he's changed the system and he's still not winning. No, it's not over. Not going to call that at all. But the momentum's definitely going in one direction at the moment, and he needs to do something.
Especially when he's got more southern states to face. He's got Georgia, Louisiana, Florida. And, Cuban Americans aren't like people who come from Central and South America. They've got pretty strong views on Castro in Florida.
Yeah, I don't think he's got any chance in Florida.
No. And then other places.
Which doesn't bode well if he does get the nomination, because you're probably going to need to win Florida.
Yeah. And because Biden ran up like 100+ delegate lead in the South, Biden doesn't need to outright win Michigan or Ohio. He just has to keep up with Sanders and keep dominating in the South. I think, I haven't seen all the numbers yet, but it looks like an uphill climb, at least from what I can figure out early days so far.
I think we can all agree that we're just glad that Tulsi Gabbard's still going.
Oh, yeah. That's her awesome. 2 delegates. Finally, man. So richly deserved.
Yeah. And not just that, but compared to Michael Bloomberg, she is running a very tight ship, because those 2 delegates cost about $3 a piece. So
yeah, and those are paid
she's
for
putting
by
in the big
RT.
money, Yeah, Jesus Christ. The amount of money she spent on her campaign, I'd be surprised if you could buy a ticket to go to American Samoa. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, anyway. Fuck's sake. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, it's also just annoying, because she's clearly setting herself up as a sort of Dave Rubin-esque, I'm going to go on Fox News and shit on the left.
Oh, like Schoenhead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what she's setting herself up as. But to do it, professionally. Look, there are worse ways to earn a living, but, there are also ones that are respectable. Mm-hmm. Never mind.
Moving right along, Yeah. So, just to kind of wrap up this section, the state of the race went topsy-turvy. It shows the British, well, I don't know if it was said exactly this way. The politician, was it, who said, events, dear boy, events.
Indeed, yes. I forget who said that as well.
Was it?
But it's
I want to say Adley, but that's not a person, I don't think.
You're thinking of Clement Attlee, but
maybe.
I don't think it was him.
Okay.
But that is a real person.
Yes.
He was he was arguably the greatest prime minister in our history. Created the NHS and all sorts.
Maybe the chat will know.
Anyway,
the chat will probably look it up and tell us because they like to do that kind of stuff. They like to fact check us.
I'm going to say it was Benjamin Disraeli.
I
have no idea.
I think it was a Labour person. Well,
if you're going back that far, Labour didn't exist. But
not to who did you have, Pickle Guy?
What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know. It popped in my head, and I just decided to go with it.
Thank you, Kristi. That's really helpful. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about now. But
who are you talking about? We were talking about Atlee, and you mentioned someone ridiculous.
Benjamin Disraeli.
Disraeli, but when was he around?
1850s, 60s.
All right. Am I gonna have to look this up on Google because the chat is just letting us down? I'm depressed.
Yeah, fuck you, chat.
Yeah, we ask you for one thing, one freaking thing.
Exactly, it is to be a walking
events,
Google.
Dear boy, events. I've just done a Google on it. What does it have to say? Harold Macmillan.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, Labour did exist then, yeah.
Yeah. All right. How did we end up here? This show is just such a tangent.
I don't know.
The entire show is a tangent.
Yeah. So, hang on a minute. So, Harold Macmillan was a lizard who thought that there were no other lizards.
Yes. And it was this sounds like a Kafka book.
Yeah, exactly. He wakes up one day and he's a lizard in a man suit.
In British politics.
Yes.
How did that happen?
I don't know. Anyway, so should we move on?
Yeah, you had a segue.
I do have a segue.
Do I have to screen? You going to screen share?
I have to screen share, don't I?
All right, so I'll stop sharing with you then.
You cannot screen share while someone else is screen share. Oh, okay.
So just for the... Yeah, cock and balls on my screen again.
Oh, well, you said it couldn't go on your screen, but there.
Oh, damn it! Hold on. It went full screen on me, and now, okay, just 100. Yes, 100%. Okay, I have to move the. Oh, what are you doing, you damn? This is so frustrating. Sorry. So what happened is it went on the wrong goddamn. Can you unshare for a second?
Okay.
Sorry. It was premature streaming or sharing. Okay. Grab the window. Okay. Try again, cock and balls.
Well, thank you. It's a lovely nickname.
Yes.
Can we see this?
Yes, now it's working.
Awesome. Howdy. Why am I talking like I've only just arrived on the stream? It's anyway.
Howdy?
Yeah.
What are you from Hee-Haw all of a sudden?
Salute.
No,
I'm from Oklahoma.
That must be it.
Yeah, because that's the only thing.
Hugh Jackman was in Oklahoma.
He's Australian.
Yes, he is.
Those are two places that I'm not convinced exist. So
it was a really bad idea for me to eat a Reese's peanut butter cup before we came on air.
Well, that's just true regardless of whether you're coming on air or not.
Oh, I love Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yes, you are an inbred American. Yes,
oh,
that
chocolate
is true.
and peanut butter together, so good.
White trash, absolutely.
It's
Anyway,
it's like breakfast.
It's like breakfast in as much as it can be edible. But
At
that's
any time of
it.
day, yeah. But it's kind of healthy. It's got peanuts in it.
It's not. No, it's not. It's not remotely healthy.
Flavored like peanuts.
So are my balls.
Is
and
purple,
what?
Is purple a fruit?
Like my head, yeah.
That
Anyway.
great Homer Simpson line. Purple a fruit?
Is purple a fruit? I don't even believe in Jeebus. Anyway. So, folks, we've talked about him before. Internet prick?
Yeah.
Anyway, he tweeted this out 17 hours ago, as you can see, as the Super Tuesday results were coming in, and it's one of the dumbest takes. He says, edgy YouTubers, and note the word edgy. He likes to think of himself as edgy.
Yeah.
It'll come up in a second. Edgy YouTubers don't create tankies. Democratic primaries create tankies.
What? Democracy creates tankies? Is that what he's saying?
No, well, it's capital D Democratic. So Democratic primaries.
The party.
Democratic Party.
Yeah. Democrats voting creates tankies.
Well, I literally, my response was, some votes didn't go the way I wanted, so now the Holodomor definitely didn't happen.
What's the Holodomor?
Oh, know your fucking Eastern European history from the 30s, woman. Jesus. Anyway, it was a genocidal starvation thing in Ukraine, where about 3 million people starved to death under Joseph Stalin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a whole thing. Anyway, and tankies are like, no, it totally didn't happen,
got
guys, because they're scum.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the point being, I'm making there in a silly roundabout way is they're doing this thing of, oh, you're pushing us to the extremes. Like, no.
Yeah.
If you believe that kind of garbage, you're garbage. No one voting did anything there. So fuck you. So anyway, so that dumb take happened. That's his general take on Democratic primaries.
Oh, should we also discuss his take that Warren supporters deserve to be made to feel like shit because Warren didn't get out of the race sooner?
Did he say that? Oh my god.
Where's the hold on share? I have to get this big cock and balls off my screen.
Are you cock blocking me now?
No. Sorry. Swallowed one. I'm having a really hard time tonight. No, it's just that I have to get this big cock and balls off my screen. It just sounded like I was watching porn or something. And I amused myself endlessly.
What did I say? Sorry, what did I say weird?
No, it was that. Okay, so what happened was when you stopped sharing, Zoom.
No, someone in the chat said Kev said it weird. Was my explanation of the Holodomor weird? I don't know. Sorry.
I don't know. Yeah, vagaries. You have to be more precise in the chat. Be more constructive with your feedback.
Yeah.
What kind of rapping name is Steve anyway? All right.
Have you ever been told that you look like a llama?
Not that I remember.
Tears of a rapper. I'm crying tears of a rapper.
It's a musical interlude.
Tears of a rapper.
So I don't think Vosh has me blocked. So if I write Vosh and Warren and go to the latest. Oh, he did something in the last hour. So, great. I know some of my fans don't like it when I attack Warren or her fans, but I need people to understand how much selfish, fake progressivism damages real leftist movements. She pulled an Obama, except way faster and before even nominated. Yeah, this one from March 2nd. If Trump gets reelected because Warren's refusal to drop out leads to a brokered convention where Biden emerges the winner with a demoralized Democratic voter base, we are morally obligated to make Warren supporters feel like shit about it. That's what I replied to.
No, how he uses the word cancer to describe other people in the upcoming video.
Oh, okay.
Note that. Because, mirrors exist, Vosh. Maybe you could use one.
Also, I don't know where he gets this idea that if Warren drops out, magically Bernie is going to get 100% of her support and he's going to compete with Biden. Because just look at where the vote is coming from, Vosh. Just look at the numbers.
Not just that, but she's got no delegates.
No.
So, I mean, what?
I think she has 9 or 18, something like that.
I mean, it's pretty poor. Like, I mean, it's actually a real shame because she looked like she had a promising campaign in it. But I was
crushing on Elizabeth Warren for a while.
Yeah,
early on,
she had her moments. Yeah.
Super Tuesday. Warren, 36 total.
Which is, count. I mean, still more than Bloomberg. That's good. Actually, those aren't real. Those aren't proper numbers because Bloomberg had like 20 odd when I checked earlier.
Well, maybe they're. I know there was.
So are they not updating live? Are they waiting for like all of the California results?
433. That's a lot. Buttigieg, they've got that dropped out. Maybe they just have Bloomberg dropped out under here. No, Bloomberg's right here. He's at 12.
Yeah, 12. But he had 20 something when I worked out the numbers. Yeah.
Where did he get? Because he got American Samoa. They might be holding off in California.
California was coming.
Because, California's going to take days. Because you could have a postal stamp of the day of the election and mail it in on the day, and it will still have to count.
Oh, California, you are silly.
So it'll be like 3 days. Let's see how much of it is in. 86% reporting.
Oh, that's pretty good. And he's done okay.
But
14.3. Yeah.
But we'll see, because those people who were voting on the day maybe shift
Bloomberg,
over.
you should have stayed in the race. You could have done it.
Oh, he didn't reach
He
viability.
got no delegates.
No,
God.
He didn't reach viability.
Well, how did Elizabeth? Elizabeth Warren got fewer
She
votes.
might have gotten a congressional district.
Oh, God. Oh, it's all very confusing.
It is very complicated.
Hang on, I'll go to the site I was looked at.
All right.
Otherwise, because if you only got 12, then, God, they must be 50 million apiece then, or something ridiculous.
Yeah, I was said in my live show, and I'll say it again, one story that gets overlooked is the men and women in the aggregate. Okay, and cis-normative, I get it, but just speaking in the aggregate. Women are turning out more for, like, men do better with Sanders, and Biden does slightly better with women. Like, it's a couple percentage points, but it's pretty consistent. Very consistent.
Let's have a look. I was on NBC News.
Okay.
There you go. Being very slow.
Got a typo. Independence. It's very unusual. Yeah, I'm taking the Mickey.
Come on now.
Yeah, look at this. In the last few days, which was only 18% of voters so far, and I guess any same-day voting that was posted in, Biden was getting 44%, Sanders 22%. People who decided before the last few days, Sanders 38%, Biden 19%. That's that's basically an inversion of the rate. So.
Oh, I can't find it now. It's gone.
Yeah, they realized they were wrong and they took it down.
I don't know. I don't trust any of these people.
Anyway, Washington Post. I love my subscription. It's worth it, every penny. Oh, yeah, let's check out this American Samoa result. Look at that. There's the. Oh,
no, they're saying now he's got 53. Michael Bloomberg's got 53 delegates.
What percentage of California do they have in?
I don't know. Hang on a minute. Where are we? Excusez-moi.
Yep.
Delegate tracker. Let's go NPR.
Okay.
This is really exciting. We're checking live.
Yes, and we're just letting all this dead air sit out here, because that's what would just make you bored to death.
Total delegates awarded.
All right. Well, that was fun. Anyway, go check out this breakdown of the exit poll data. It's for nerds.
Yeah. Biden 566, Sanders 501.
Oh.
Warren 61, Bloomberg 53, Buttigieg 26, 7 Klobuchar, 1 Tulsi Gabbard.
That must be sorry guys. That must be including California then. And yeah, this one doesn't have that. So can you say those numbers again?
Biden 566, Sanders in a very darts friendly way 501. Elizabeth Warren 61, Bloomberg the righteous leader of the world 53, Pete 26, Klobes 7, and the Gab 1.
Yeah, as I also pointed out in the show, you can probably give Bloomberg's, Buttigieg's, and Klobuchar's delegates to Biden and presumably Warden's.
So that's another nearly 100. So I'm going to, Warren as well. If Warren does, I don't know. I think Warren might split to an extent, but anyway.
Well, I don't know with her delegates. I think I'm not sure if you can. I mean, because it really doesn't. Her voters might split, but I think she gets to do what she wants with her delegates.
The show, I don't know. Okay.
I mean, I would presume so.
But even so, like I say, if all of Bloomberg's, Pete's, and Klobuchar's go, that's 79-86.
Yeah.
Which puts him like 150 ahead.
Yeah.
And a third of the way there to a plurality. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I mean, they've already had Texas and California, so now the really two big states would be Florida and New York. And there's some, before we came on air, Joe Biden won Maine. He squeaked Maine as well. But I think they got the same amount of delegates because it was so close. So
Susan Collins is looking fucked in Maine.
Oh, good. Yeah, happy day. And so, there were some other elections. Okay, so getting back, enough of elections. We were around drama.
Yeah. Anyway, so this piece of human filth, known as Vaush,
who has been dragged in the past
Yeah,
for
he's an awful
his shitty
gobshite.
comments.
Yeah, and this is but a content warning. There's, as it says there, the tweet warning, rabid transphobia, as well as hideous ableism, and just general dehumanizing. Yeah.
Yeah.
All very
I watched
unpleasant.
like the first 30 seconds of this and I kind of had to nope out of it. So
it gets worse.
all right.
Anyone, by the way, anyone who like stands this guy now can please fuck off. I'm done with you.
All right, so we'll have to do a bit of a sound check. So Kevin, you have to tell me if this blasts your ears out. Where is it now? Not too bad. I think it's set for happy hour levels. All right, here we go.
The left community online.
Is that pretty soft?
Perf.
Yeah, people in the chat too. Okay, I looked a little soft on the levels, so I just tweaked it up just a tiny bit. So if you have earbuds in, maybe make them loose. All right, hitting. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna hit play. I don't want to go back.
Particularly the LGBT community is cancerous as fuck. If you're not an idiot, you will agree with me on this. If you have any fucking experience with online like LGBT or leftist discourse, you know it's cancerous as fuck.
Okay, so a little bit more, because we have to, I think, for the audience, reconnect the narrative here. He did this video, because I asked before we came on the show, where is this from? When is this from? Because I know he's made horrible comments in the past and apologized for them. Apparently he hasn't learned.
No.
But the link I was given was to his response to the thread you talked about earlier, which I think is linked in this conversation from... Anyway, we'll just watch the video. And again, it's a very well-written thread, and I would recommend people take the time to read it because it's very insightful, and the woman who wrote it knows what she's talking about, and she gives like examples of the kinds of crappy attitudes that she means.
Yeah. Well, and the reason that people like Vosh and Coffin are so up in arms about is that she's talking about them.
Yeah.
They're the exact hangers-on who want to suck the money out of the system and not actually do anything.
Yeah, they want to turn up when the stage has been built and the sound has been mic'd and tested, and then give their speeches and get the applause and then go to the pub.
Yeah. And leave everyone to clean up the shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and those people are like women. So, and I didn't watch this whole thing, so this is a clip of it, but yeah, that's the first 18 seconds.
Yeah, that, and not just that, but given what he just said about like bullying Warren supporters, and he wants to call other people cancerous, as well as being just horrifically homophobic there. People online who are gay are cancerous. I mean, fucking hell. The lack of self-awareness here.
Yeah. All right, hitting play.
You understand this. People are hyper fragile. There's a ton of mental illness, and these can't convert these people.
God, he's shit.
Yeah. Firstly, you don't get to talk about being fragile. You fly off the handle all the time, my dude. Yeah, and he equates mental illness with being bad in this whole little clips package. Yeah. He's garbage, yeah. Like, he'll literally say, like, oh, they're mentally ill. Well, then why are you bullying them, you fucking little bastard? If that's true, if you think they're genuinely mentally ill,
show some
what you're
compassion.
doing here is not just punching down, is bullying. You're being an evil little fuck. Stop.
Hitting play.
They're not reasonable. They have to be excised from the left. And it's because it's coming...
Sorry, it's fucking what?
Yeah. Well, my response to this whole thing was, no, Vosh, you are the cancer that needs to be excised from the left.
Yeah, so mental illness is where I noped the fuck out of this.
Yeah.
So he's calling for people to be excised from the left.
Which I thought that was cancel culture.
Yeah.
No?
Mm-hmm.
So is he now the woke scold? Don't know. Maybe the tables have turned.
God, this is like, we're only 32 seconds in. So I'm filling up my water bottle here. I gotta fill time. But
when you say you're filling up your water, are you pissing into a water bottle?
No, I have filtered water. It's all very complicated. Anyway.
I imagine it's brought to you by one of your servants on a tray. And you go, oh, this glass is
not clean
gauche. No, take it away.
I wanted the bigger glass.
Incinerate it!
No, it's just me and my Brita water filter and a bottle.
Okay.
Ooh. All right. I guess that was a nice little detour from this shitstorm. So, all right, hitting play.
Coming from dumb fucks who are gay. What is, this person says they're gay as hell? Because it's coming from the gays. It's woke now.
What?
Also, the gays.
Just stop talking. Stop talking now.
The gays, Kristi.
The gays.
He's talking about
The
gays.
Not gay people. The gays. The gays that he wants to excise. Because online they obviously make him this upset, and so they need to be excised because they're irrational and emotional.
I was about to say, him sort of ranting like this, and he's having to go at other people from being too sensitive.
Yeah.
Like,
honestly?
fuck's sake.
Oh, wait. Here's a mirror. Let me hold it up to your face.
Yeah.
Say that part again?
Anyway,
Overreacting?
Kristi, let's listen to this, one of the great thinkers of our time, talk about the gays.
All right. Hitting play.
These people are less than human to me. I have no respect for these people.
Whoa. My brain is melting.
Yeah, I don't know how this is allowed. Like, I got a strike on my video for calling Jordan Owen a piece of shit, which he demonstrably is, by the way. Whereas him saying they're less than human, they need to be excised, like a fucking weird Nazi, which is ironic given what he accuses others of in a second.
I was just thinking, Sargon isn't this blatant.
Yeah.
Carl isn't this blatant when he talks.
This is awful. I mean, fuck this dude.
Sorry, I actually my glasses fell off my face because I put my hands on my head. I have to find them. Okay, got them back.
You don't. Sight is optional, Kristi.
Well, right now, looking at his face is making my hand jitter. Right.
These people are fucking disgusting. You don't need to be a psychologist to see that a large portion of the broader fucking like woke-tard cancel culture idpo left is predicated on shared mental illness.
I'm shaking my head.
You don't need to be a psychologist, Kristi. You don't need to be a psychologist to know that people you've never met en masse are mentally ill. Science.
Yeah, this is so progressive.
Yeah.
Dirtbags. Okay.
This is particularly prominent in the trans community. If you did
go boom again, mind every time he finishes a sentence, my head wants to explode.
Yeah. This guy is quite popular in certain leftist circles, which makes my skin crawl.
Who is watching him anymore?
Woke scold ID poll something buzzword.
Like, I mean, you know how Naboo would turn his back on you in The Mighty Boosh?
That is a lovely niche reference that almost the entirety of our audience won't get. But yes, I do know that.
I wanna turn my back on him.
But you have to do it with the music as well.
Well,
disagree with me on this.
Oh, shut up, you. I wasn't. Not now, Todd. Let's explain that too. Randy Rainbow, who is a rainbow in a thunderstorm of Trump shit. He really is a way of actually making the clouds part and make you smile. He put out an amazing...
Why is it recommending your own video to you?
I know, I'm watching.
Oh, fuck's sake. Naboo, it's 2-0. 2-0.
Two B's?
No, 2 O's.
Oh, okay.
That's Nabo.
Yes, you were right.
Yeah, turn my back on you.
I don't think we'll be... Yeah, it's only 26 seconds, so I'm pretty sure we could probably do this.
Have you ever seen two brothers who look less alike than Naboo and
Get
Vince? Because they're brothers in real life, you know.
Really? No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Noel
that's amazing.
Fielding and I forget the actor's name, but something Fielding, who plays Naboo, are brothers, and they look nothing alike.
No,
and there's about 2 feet in difference. It's ridiculous.
Even their facial structures are completely...
Yeah, but they're
like he's like
brothers.
that sort of scrawny British type, and then Naboo is a bit more stocky and Lisa. All right, so when you turn your back on someone with Naboo, this is what happens.
out.
Oh
come on, Nabo. You've gone too far this time. I'm going to have to turn my back on you.
That's it. That's what we should all do, Devosh.
Yeah, but hang on. But then you've got to complete the
All right.
the thing.
All right, we'll finish it off. We won't leave him hanging.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nabo. Come on, don't be like that. Let that be a lesson to you.
Yeah.
We'll just leave that
Yeah.
up in case we need. Naboo squeezes a frog. We're going to close that off.
Well, we don't want French abuse. No.
We needed that break. Really, we needed that. We needed that Naboo reference. I didn't realize until we had to go back to Vosh saying horrible things. So now I just want everyone to picture the music, dun 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 dun, and turning around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wrong. I know it sounds yikesy. It happens anyway. Pretty much every time I deal with dipshits from the left that's trans girls, that I notice there's a vastly disproportionate amount of dumb fuck lefty takes in my feed coming from trans people. Like,
Yeah, just as it says, rabid transphobia. Yeah.
I want to call into the show in the past. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Are you just like turn off your camera? Even if you feel these things, don't spew this out because you normalize it. And you make people unsafe.
Yeah.
All right, hitting play even though I don't want to.
I don't know. Most of the time when a wildly fucking irrational lefty comes in to make bad faith arguments against me, it's a trans person. That is a fact. If all of these dumb fucks recognize that I despise them and think they're every bit as detrimental to the left as Nazis are,
There we go. Yeah, he's the one going on about other people being less than human and excising them. But other people are like the Nazis. Somehow. Because reasons. It's almost like this guy is a nouveau lefty alt-right scumbag who's now just preaching a bit of economic leftism, but he's still an absolute piece of shit.
Did you know one of the takeaway pieces about that Occupy thread?
Oh yeah, the Jason Kessler thing.
Well, that some of the guys that were in Occupy ended up in the alt-right.
Yeah, Jason Kessler was the organizer of the Unite the Right, where Heather Heyer was murdered. Yeah, he was originally a Occupy Wall Street organizer. Yeah, you got a lot of these kind of right-wing carpetbaggers, for want of a better phrase, like Vosh, like shoe on head.
Yeah. And people were so mad. So on my Sunday show, because someone was like, "Oh, go watch her content," and I was like, "Okay, let's actually look at her content." So I went to her channel and I just looked at the thumbnails and the titles, because it was like, okay, if I was going to do a preliminary analysis of the Brainlit channel, what would I start with? I would start with a general categorization of where her content fell. And I think I put it in the bin.
Her entire thing is everyone who isn't exactly 100% on the Bernie train is evil.
Yeah, especially Hillary and Warren and Harris.
But Tulsi Gabbard's just fine, even though she's voted for all of those wars as well. You know, never mind.
Yeah, slamming women, just like she did with her anti-feminism videos. But I think she's made about somewhere, I'm just going to rough ballpark it, I think it was like 56 videos in total, and like 40 of them were about bashing Democrats. Or promoting Sanders. I don't actually think she's promoting Sanders. It's mostly like things like, "Our Trump voter is racist." That kind of stuff.
She knows which side her bread is buttered.
Yeah, a lot of Hillary stuff. And you know how much stuff there was on the impeachment? Considering her channel was like 8 months old, and most of it, content existed during the lead up to and during the impeachment.
I'm going to say 0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one thing where she criticized Trump on his like war policy.
Oh God! Literally, that's it, isn't it? The whole argument boils down to, and it's so frustrating because Bernie Sanders and socialism, or social democracy, more generally, can be a rich and beautiful thing. And I say rich in the cultural, societal sense. But they've boiled it down to war is bad and healthcare is good.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which you think, okay, but I learned that when I was 7. Like, you don't, if that's all you've got for me, get the fuck out of my face.
Also,
That's not analysis of anything.
Right,
You're an embarrassment.
Like,
The fuck?
I'm totally open to the idea of withdrawing troops from around the world, but the next step is tell me how you're going to do that without destabilizing things. Like, tell me your drawdown pattern. Tell me about the alliances. Tell me your extraction policies.
Well, no, exactly. They're not even doing extraction policies. They've not got that far. They've just got to the war is bad.
Yeah, and if
well, okay, well, brilliant, well done. I mean, you've met the baseline of not being like literally the most evil person ever. Well done.
But look, we saw what happens when you just withdraw U.S. troops when they did it to the Kurds, and they were massacred, right? So you have to be responsible on both sides of your war policy, because if you can't have people dying in mass in order to save your population. Is that there is a moral obligation there? You're
seeing that now with Trump's rush deal with the Taliban, because he wants those troops out of Afghanistan before November.
Yep.
Not because it's good to have them back by November. It's good for Trump to have them back by November.
And you think the Taliban don't know that and aren't going to fuck with him?
Oh yeah, basically, as soon as they leave, it will have been as if nothing happened, because the Taliban will just take over again. That's what's going to happen. I'll guarantee it.
Trump.
Al Qaeda won't, I don't think, reappear, because I think the Taliban have learned their lesson in that respect. That if they want to keep control of Afghanistan and keep milking the country for all the heroin money they can get, don't invite the Islamists in.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, away you go, lads. It's yours.
So have that conversation.
Yeah, but no, they've not gotten anywhere near that far. They've just got to war is bad.
Or deceptively editing me to make it look like I'm saying wars cause democracy or some bullshit.
Tulsi Gabbard 2020.
Yeah, with June as a running mate.
She's got one. And they say each marathon starts with the first step. She's got one delegate.
Yeah. Well,
I believe in you, Tulsi.
She's only got 1,190 some to go.
Yeah. Amazing. She's got 500 less. Exactly 500 less than Bernie Sanders.
All right. I actually have to go back because that Nazi comment made no sense to me.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure what he's getting. I think he's saying Nazis want to destroy the left and trans people want to destroy the left.
Yeah,
I think that's what. I don't think he's literally saying they're as bad as Nazis. Okay. I'm going to be. He doesn't deserve it, but I'm going to be that generous to him.
Well, I backed that ass up, so we're back a few seconds. We'll hear what he says.
Fact. If all of these dumb fucks recognize that I despise them and think they're every bit as detrimental to the left as Nazis are, I am doing good.
I don't know how Nazis are detrimental to the left because you
doing good.
Yeah,
I am doing good. But look at the shit-eating grin in a second where he goes on about himself being edgy. That's what gives him away as the kind of grifty fucking shitlord that he always was and is and will ever be. That's all he's capable of.
He does keep coming back home. Like, he gets correct. Like, people call him out on, in the past, people have called him out on stuff and he apologized. But then he just goes back to what he is.
Yeah. He's scum. Yeah.
Like, it doesn't process the whole learning bit. Like, I shouldn't be saying this because this is garbage and I sound like garbage when I say it. Yeah. And people who hear this garbage may be hurtful to people. He's not even people.
He's not even dirtbag left. He's just dirtbag.
Yeah. You're going to separate those two terms. Put a period after each one. Dirtbag. And all right.
I want these people to know that they're my enemy. I fucking hate them.
Trans people are his enemy. That's not transphobic. That's fine. It's fine.
Honestly. Dun, 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 dun. I was sorry. Should I finish the Randy Rainbow story? We started it and then we got distracted.
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
Anything to avoid listening to this prick talk.
Randy Rainbow, the night before Super Tuesday or on Super Tuesday, brought out a video done to the music from Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat. Any Dream Will Do.
Any Dream Will Do.
Yes, but he changed it to Any Dem Will Do. And as he does, he took clips from, and in this case it was a Democratic debate, and inserted himself as if he was the debate host. And one of the running jokes in it is that he couldn't remember Tom Steyer's name. So the first time he calls on Tom Steyer, he's like, I want to say Todd. Or Tim. I want to say Tim. Sorry, I want to say Tim. And then he goes into his song and he does like the first 4 lines, and then there's a pause between that and the next stanza or verse or whatever. And there's this brilliant bit where they cut Tom Steyer saying, I released my taxes, and Randy Rainbow shoots him this look and just says, not now, Todd. So yes, he calls him Tim and Todd and something else toward the end as well. And then also right at the very, very end, if you watch all the way to the credits, he's got another clip of Steyer going, I started a business, and not now, Todd. So, yes, watch Randy Rainbow. We would broadcast it here, but we'd definitely get a copyright strike, and well-deserved, because his creative work into that should be copyrighted and monetized if he wished. So,
and a similar, sort of similar, going back 4 years now, good Lord, Creationist Cats, one of best videos ever. There was a governorship race in, I want to say somewhere like Alabama or some shit. And there was like the Republican debate thing, and it was like the serious dude who was like the defending governor, whatever. And then there was like his serious challenger, and then there was a mental old guy, right? Look, I think he called him something like Redneck Santa, right? And then there was a weird biker who was going on about Jesus talked to him through an African pastor who had come to his town, and he got this bit of paper where he told the pastor to write down on the paper and sign it that God had told him to run for president. And it's just amazing. And it's so funny because he plays the part of like the, Creationist Cat is one of the contenders or whatever who's talking along. And it's brilliant because at the end he goes, I'm a talking cat and I'm not even remotely the weirdest thing about this debate. And it's so true.
Idaho.
The fuck? Idaho. Yeah.
Yes. Orion.
Blitzkrieg.
Orion in the chat came through with the obscure cat.
But fuck nowhere place. Who cares? One of those places that needs to be paved over to be used for a car park for real America.
You know what I associate with Idaho?
The fact that it's shaped weirdly like a gun.
No, but kind of close. Potatoes.
Not remotely close.
Well,
not even
potato
slightly
guns.
close. I suppose, yeah. We had a potato gun when we were young. It just meant we had no potatoes to eat because we'd just fire them with the potato gun.
Yeah. Actually, what it a little bit reminded me of when you were telling that story was the Rick and Morty adaptation of the transcript between the judge and the really belligerent prisoner.
No, I don't know what.
Oh my gosh, how much of this can we get away with? All right, anything so we don't have to listen to Vosh is pretty much the rule tonight. Why does it feel like a Friday? I think it's because I didn't get to sleep till 5:30.
And we're doing a show, so it's Friday. Got to do a happy hour on Friday. Why are you still advertising your own fucking thing? Jesus.
Yeah, Rick and Morty court case. Okay.
Oh, it's already there. How often do you search this?
Actually, I just watched it again recently because I was reminded of it. I don't think we can watch the whole thing because it's like 9 minutes long. If you want to see the original in black and white or the one where they colored it in, do you care?
I don't give a shit.
All right, I think the colorized one might be
So
slightly
is this like an actual thing?
All right, so this is based on real transcripts. This was it. I was looking up. So I took this. I told you about my workshop on telling stories, and I was trying to remember the Dan Harmon stories thing, and then I went down the rabbit hole of his videos. And one of them was talking about like Rick and Morty memes or meme moments, like Pickle Rick, things like that. Swifty. I found out the backstory to Swifty, and one of them is that there was a video game for Rick and Morty, and Justin, I can't remember his last name, the guy who does the voices. Yeah. He just riffed some like 4 songs, so there was like a playlist of these 4 songs on this video game, and one of them was the Swifty song, which was done to like a bad electro background, kind of like it turned out in the end. And some people were playing it around the office, and it just became like this office joke, and they thought it was so funny. So they worked backwards from the Swifty song into like, how can we get this into an episode? What if we had like an Idol version, but with planets and yada, yada, yada? There you go. The Swifty episode was born. So nice. One of the other ones was this. So what the story behind this is, someone that Dan Harmon knew was circulating this. Apparently had gone viral on Facebook or social media at the time, because it's kind of old, I think. Well, 2016, so whatever. And it's a transcript of an actual court case that took place in Georgia. And it was so funny that when Dan took it to the office and he started reading it out to somebody in the writer's room, and they're like, okay, well, we'll just do it as a play. Like, I'll read one part, you read the other part, so that was more realistic. And then Justin walked in, and then this happened. Okay, so
Cool.
we can't watch the whole thing, but it's amazing. All right. Oh, come on. I was mucking about. Hopefully the volume's okay.
Okay, okay, Mr. Allen.
Right.
I believe that your case was going to trial not this Monday, but the following Monday. Do you understand that?
Yes,
Okay, I tell you, if you need to tell me something, I'll let you come up here to the podium so you can speak into the microphone and I can hear you.
Yes, the attorney here, I'm wanting to fire him.
Uh-huh.
And, I don't feel like he's doing any...
Who are you going to hire?
I'm not going to hire nobody. I'm going to try to get a different public defender.
There isn't. You have a right to an attorney.
This lawyer has...
You don't have a right to a specific attorney.
This lawyer has made sexual advances on me. He's misrepresenting my case. He told me if I wanted him to do a good job, I had to let him give me oral sex. He's had doctors at Central State Hospital put a false diagnosis on me.
Okay, I know Mr. Wyatt pretty well, and I don't think he has the ability to make doctors at Central State do anything.
Well, they did it, and he's the one that had me sit down there.
Well, they may have done it, but I don't think that he had anything to do with it.
All right, well, he won't give me the discovery. There's things in discovery he's supposed to give me the incident and told me that it was the discovery.
Okay.
They're alternating documents that I've read.
If you want the indictment, I'll make sure you get a copy of the indictment.
No, I'm saying I got the indictment, but he's not complying with discovery.
Okay.
I'm supposed to get the autopsy report, the coroner report, pictures of the crime scene.
Coroner report?
Criminal background records. I want...
Is this a murder?
In the county jail.
Okay.
Yeah,
So it just goes on like this.
Oh,
and it escalates, and they start shouting at each other and swearing. And he makes increasingly wild accusations. And the judge gets mad as well. I'm just going to skip ahead a bit.
yourself. I'm through here. Y'all done?
I'm finding you in contempt of court.
I don't care.
I know you don't, and I sentence you to 20 days for that. And if you say anything else, I'm gonna add 20 days for everything you say.
You.
40 days.
You again.
60.
Go yourself.
A year.
Your mama.
10 years.
Suck my.
You know something? This is gonna be an interesting trial.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah.
You're not supposed to smile in court. You know that if you smile,
I can smile anytime I want.
it's a
So you can watch that.
And the home of the brave.
Oh, I think we watched a little too much at the beginning, but it escalates. It escalates pretty fast.
I just love that. Fuck you. 40 days. Fuck you. 60 days. Fuck you. A year.
Yeah. I know it is boring. I got it going. Don't worry, chat. You'll catch up. Okay. Anyway, going with back to Vosh. All right.
They're not your enemy.
Oh, no. Yes, they are. They hurt me and they hurt you. Because every time some dumb fuck trans girl on Twitter who
On Twitter?
Yeah, the people on Twitter hurt him, Kristi.
They hurt
But
you
everyone
on
else,
Twitter.
everyone else
But
is
they're
really
snowflakes.
sensitive.
They're
Yeah.
super sensitive, yeah. They have to live in a world of transphobia, but what he sees on Twitter is so emotionally damaging to him that he can't just block and move on.
And they're his enemies.
Yeah,
Kristi.
they're his enemies, and he has to excise them from the left.
Yeah, they're less than people, and he
They're
has to
basically
excise them.
Nazis.
That's not something that should get you put on a watch list.
For
That kind
having-
of genocidal nonsense.
For
No,
having a
it's fine.
Twitter fight? Seriously? Just like mute or
Yeah.
block and move on with your day.
No, he has to tell everyone how sensitive they are.
All right. Yeah, I would prefer to listen to that boring Rick and Morty clip than this. Absolutely.
Oh,
I went too far ahead, didn't I?
Money.
Oh, money. I thought, okay. I am a mod and represent the largest politics server on Discord and was wondering if you two want to come on for an AMA. Well, Hans, take your money back. Because you don't have to pay us to ask us that question. Just, my DMs are open. Just
Give me the money.
I'm not
I'm
gonna.
very poor.
Like, if I transfer, by the time I get my cut from YouTube and then I transfer it to you on PayPal, it'll be like a £1. But yeah, just our DMs are open. Although I have to say, Hans, What is that kind of? What do you have as a? Is that an eagle? That's a very interesting piece of artwork you have there. Thank you for the $5, by the way. All right. All right,
Yeah,
we're
I mean,
almost done.
I've got no problem with doing an AMA.
Yeah, I mean, in principle, I don't know who the
Yeah, but it
audience
is Discord, so it's probably quite cancerous. But whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Depends. The thing is, in the past, I would be suspicious. I was like, oh, is it going to be trolled by like Sargoons and Bearing fans? Now I'm like, oh, is it going to be filled with a bunch of Vosh fans?
Probably.
All right, hitting.
Why
play.
do you even think that trans people aren't all mentally ill, evil people that need to be excised, Kristi? Why?
Yeah.
Why do you think that?
Dataport Doll in the chat says Vosh is just Sargon. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, if you just gave me transcripts, I couldn't tell them apart, except the fact that actually Carl isn't this blatant in his aggressive hate.
Yeah, I don't think Carl's ever literally said of his enemies they're less than human.
Not where he's recorded.
No. I mean, yeah, he probably almost certainly says it in private,
Oh,
but I mean,
yeah.
who cares?
Yeah. All right. We've got like 30 seconds or something of this shit left.
Well, that's
so.
about 4 more pauses then, definitely.
Oh, God.
Fuck trans girl on Twitter who's acting out mental illness, whining, calling people like me transphobic because I disagree with them.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that they called you transphobic because you are.
Yeah. When you say that trans people en masse on Twitter are mentally ill, but you don't need to be a psychologist to know that because you just do, because, you're Vosh, the almighty galactic brained one. Yeah, that's really transphobic. So I don't know why you feel surprised or annoyed by that.
And you
just
have
a blatant statement of truth.
Fact. Yeah, you have a history of transphobia, and maybe instead of, I don't know, if you want to demonstrate progress when someone calls you transphobic, you can point to the fact that you've apologized in the video and say, I'm trying to change and be better on that. Instead of, I don't know, going on a rant and dehumanizing them to your dirtbag left audience.
Yeah.
All right, hitting play.
They're hurting the left. No, these people are...
No. They're not hurting the left, Vosh. You're hurting the left.
Yeah. As I said, he is the cancer that needs to be excised from the left.
Yeah, just dun 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 dun.
Ill. These people are cancer. They're subhuman. I don't care.
It's subhuman.
Not just that, they're mentally ill. They're cancer. They're subhuman. So what? Being mentally ill is the problem there, is it? What? Subhuman.
They're
subhuman and need to be excised.
Buffering,
clearly,
trying to compute.
Clearly, the Democratic primaries made him into a tanker.
Yeah, yes.
It wasn't just that he was garbage from the start. No, clearly not.
Why is he? Just turn your
why
camera
is
off.
He? Why is he? Fair question.
Yes, the question of today. All right.
Question. You don't have to do that kind of shit. That doesn't help.
Yeah, I'm edgy. I don't give a fuck.
No, it's not being edgy. It's being an asshole.
That's what I mean. Oh, I'm so edgy. I'm so cool, aren't I, guys? I'm edgy. Yeah, edgy. No, you're just a prick.
Yep.
I hate that. I'm so edgy. I'm so politically incorrect. No, right, guys. It's not a skill to be a prick. It's very, very easy to be a prick.
Yeah.
It's much more difficult to not be a prick.
Being racist isn't edgy, it's being a racist. Being a transphobe isn't edgy, it's being a transphobe.
Yeah.
You're dehumanizing people because of Twitter arguments and saying that they're oversensitive. Again, just like a hypocrisy.
Yeah, he's claiming other people are oversensitive, but because of Twitter arguments, he's labeled people subhuman.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
And this guy, you know what he's motivated by is his moral center, that he wants what's best for humanity. That's where he gets his, isn't that what he said to Carl? Is that he's basically like morally right on these issues. Because he wants a better society for people, except for trans people who he thinks are subhuman. Is that the logic here? Oh, all the people who you think are people?
Well, if you disagree with him in any
humanist?
way, that's the ultimate problem. It's a tanky thing all over. When you're absolutely convinced that you're 100% right and you couldn't possibly be wrong, that means anyone who disagrees with you must be kind of evil because you've got all the answers.
Yeah. Someone, Mike in the chat says, Jesus Christ, I've watched right-wing scumbags be more subtle than this. Yeah.
Well, we're watching a right-wing scumbag being not very subtle about this.
Yes. All right. The last laps.
It's not just you know that's not just being edgy.
Damn
Making
right.
a
Yeah,
reference
it's
to
edgy as shit.
No, making a reference to the Jewish question about how like there's like
God,
a trans
it's-
conspiracy or whatever. Like that's not just being edgy. That's like literally calling for the death of trans.
I'm
Yeah, that makes my toes curl with cringe. Yeah, damn right, it's edgy. Oh,
Ooh,
God.
look at me. I'm so
You're
proud of
Are you
myself
12 years of age?
for transgressing norms that dehumanize people.
Yeah, the fuck is wrong with you, man? Yeah, he's a genocidal crazy fuck, clearly. Fuck him. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, garbage. And what blowback is he getting about this?
Well, the woke scolds, the subhuman woke scolds.
Yeah, and the people who stand with them, like us.
Well, I was counting us.
Oh, we all say so, right?
Yeah, we're both subhuman.
All the
woke
allies
scolds
too, right? Extends out.
who need to be excised from something SJWs.
Because we're as bad as Nazis.
And you watch. If Joe Biden gets the nomination, you watch at least one of these motherfuckers come out and be like, would Trump being elected, would that actually be any worse? Guarantee you. Fucking guarantee you. Because it's edgy. It's edgy. Damn right I'm edgy. I'm so edgy. Guys, I'm edgy. I'm interesting. Please be interested in me. I'm edgy.
And the sad thing is, I think there is, talk about cancel culture. There are lines, and you can call it cancel or whatever, but if you're going to say, I don't want to associate with you. I don't want that stank on me. I feel if people just say that, like, just explain how offensive it is and how wrong it is and how Nazi-like it is. Even if Vosh decides that they're not going to take it back, then at least they understand where they went wrong. But cancel Vosh. I wouldn't defend him if that went around.
Yeah,
Until
fuck him.
I don't even know how you come back from this. I mean, this is like a formal apology and like doing. I don't even like honestly some of the stuff in here.
Well, he doesn't go. As far as I'm concerned, he never comes back from there.
Yeah.
I don't want anything to do with him. But yeah, it's interesting that they're going about cancel culture, and he's literally talking about excising subhumans. So genocide, the ultimate cancelling.
So someone said the stream, the last bit was clipped from July 26, 2019. But as I said, when I asked for the source on this, we'll have to go down now to the other tweets that I'm doing this with my left hand. All right, I'm going to be lazy.
Hang on. Do you mean the last bit was clipped from, because it's the same video?
Yeah, he's wearing the same shirt in the whole thing.
Yeah, so unless he's got literally the same shirt in exactly the same condition with the same
lighting.
No. People are hyper.
That's the same fucking video.
Yeah.
That's not either it's all clipped from some time ago, which I don't think is the case. That's all from that one video.
Because again, he's had a history of saying these terrible things. This is me 2 hours ago. Do we know when this went out? It came from the stream. Let's have a look to see what shirt he's wearing. Or mute him. Don't care. Okay. Oh, I see. He's up in the top there. I can't because of the thing in the way. We'll have to watch it on YouTube. Still muted. Okay.
Good.
All right. So there's the stream from there. And let's look at the original video.
I can't, yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But then again, he's leaning
back. It looks
back.
vaguely similar, and it's clearly cropped or whatever, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, no. That's a close up.
Yeah.
The thing that I'm noticing that's the most different is that this screen that was here.
Yeah.
This one is here. So I think.
I don't know
when this was done. Because again, he did get dragged for filth, as people say on RuPaul, which I watched earlier tonight, for his horrible trans comments. And so I thought that this was a repeat of those. But at the moment, I don't know when that broadcast. So if maybe that was what he apologized for, but I'm not seeing.
Well, you still say doing bitter woke scold. Not just that, but calling the person who was literally one of the fundamental organisers of the Philly Occupy. Well, it's not Occupy Wall Street, is it? Occupy Philly Street. I don't know. Anyway, COINTELPRO approved. You fucking sick little bastard. That person has done way more for the left than you ever will. So fuck you.
Yeah. So everyone, I know something about the chat. Yeah, newer than this. So yeah, we're trying to run it down. Like I said, I understood he had a problem with this in the past, and I thought he'd kind of really been dragged for it, which is why. But I'm not a Vosh follower. You sent the video.
Jamie J in the chat. If you can send us the source.
Okay.
Apparently the stream was about them. Okay.
Okay. So just so you know, because you're not going to see on the screen.
So you're the ultimate subhuman. What was it they called them? Oh, I can't even remember now. Something or other.
Okay.
Subhuman cancer or something. Yeah.
Let me go to my DMs. You guys are obviously not going to see my DMs. I see the link. Oh, right. Okay. Yes, July of 19.
So what? 8-9 months ago.
Yeah, last summer.
Yeah.
Which is kind of when he came to my attention.
Yeah, he came to my attention early last year at some point.
Yeah, but I didn't.
He got kicked off. He got kicked
off
Twitch for being too garbage and came to YouTube, and it's been just as garbage.
So yeah, it would have been helpful, I guess, we'd tell Jace, I guess, to have also put out some time frame on there for those of us who follow this stuff. But I hadn't actually heard. So on this, right? So I admitted we probably should have tracked down the timing on this again because I had vaguely heard that he'd gotten in trouble. I'd never heard what he'd actually said. So at least for me, now I know why people were so angry with him, because they should have been. And yeah, that is pretty trash. He did it on your birthday? Oh my gosh. He did that stream on your birthday, Jamie. That's horrible. Now,
I've always dreamt of being called subhuman cancer on my birthday.
Yeah. So I would ask Jamie, if you're in the chat, what are your thoughts on where he is now? Because I would be very much led by, if you think that he's given some apologies, that you think that he's moved on, or you think that his apologies have not really moved you. So I don't know if you feel comfortable expressing that in the chat, but I, for one, would like to know. So yeah. Holy crap, that was terrible, though. Honestly, I've never ever in my life even heard Sargon. Even when he went on that stream, was being provocative. I don't say just being provocative. He was being provocative and used the N-word. He was not that explicit. That was mad. I'm waiting to see if Jamie's going to reply, but I don't know how long the lag is. So I think that's the end of our show.
He's explicitly said his apology wasn't to me. Oh, fuck him then.
All right. Well, yeah. Then you know what? On your behalf, Jamie, I'm glad we dragged this out. He apologized to his audience.
But his audience are garbage. Who cares?
For not looking good to the public. Wow, that sounds.
Optics.
So it's a Shoe on Head interview.
Yeah. Oh,
it was like when Shoe appeared on his channel. You know what? I was almost gonna give him some sympathy, we kind of dragged out stuff, and maybe he's atoned for it. But I feel no bad, not at all now.
Yeah, I don't feel bad. I wouldn't have felt bad anyway. He hasn't changed.
He apologized to his audience.
He occasionally comes out with some bullshit apology which doesn't mean anything. And then 5 minutes later, he's doing the same shit.
Well, we saw the bullying type nature in the Warren comments earlier.
Yeah, fuck him.
So, hey, Jamie, we got your back here. Happy hour.
Exactly.
The ha-hos are with you.
Yeah, the ha-hos.
The happy ending ha-hos.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely, yeah. Much love.
Okay. I think we run out of things to talk about.
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
What states are coming up next, Kristi?
You know, that's a pretty good question, because as soon as one race finishes, everyone forgets about it and goes, what's next?
I don't even know what California is.
Yes. Next.
Tell me the next one. It'll be something random. North Dakota.
Next in Fashion Daniel. You can see what I was watching on Netflix. Next Democratic primary. I think Wisconsin's still like 2 weeks away. Here are all the primaries.
Yeah, if it's that long away, you should probably get proper roads. See what I did?
Pavement and all.
Yes. What we got next?
Give me the damn timetable. No, I don't want the candidates. Where's the hyperlinks? Timeline 2020. All right, February, we already know all that. A bit. Oh, that's just the timeline of what happened. No, I want to know. Here we go. Where are we at today? Oh, that must be today. The saddest day in Kevin's 2020.
No. Not just the saddest day in my life. The saddest day in the history of humanity.
All right. So next weekend.
Humanity was offered a bright light, a way forward for the future, and turned its back, much like Jesus, turned its back on... Anyway, enough of that bollocks. It's funny now because he definitely won't win. That's fine. Yeah. We can definitely do these jokes now.
Yeah, so next up, we've got Idaho on March 10th, along with Michigan.
Hang on. Whoa. North Dakota. Firstly,
do not. I was going to do that bit because I was like, what the hell is that? That's amazing, isn't it? The Firehouse Caucus. I don't even know what that is. And there's nothing to hyperlink to either. So that's a thing that exists. I learned.
Then there's the Northern Mariana Island caucuses. That'll be the big one.
Where is that?
The Mariana presumably is in the Pacific somewhere.
Although it won't participate in the November elections, it can still participate in the primary. So this is basically their general election.
So hang on. Well, click on how many thingamajigs have they got? Delegates. Just right click and then open new tab.
Okay. I was like, but I'm going to get lost. But I'm lost. Procedure. Yes, they say. No, I was scanning the boxes to see. 6 pledged delegates.
Oh.
Allotted proportionately.
American Samoa type.
Situation.
Yeah.
Right. So Idaho, Michigan, Mississippi, Missouri, Washington, and then the North Dakota Firehouse.
One firehouse in North Dakota, which does it on a different day from the rest of the state, apparently.
What a firehouse that's amazing. All right. And then next up on the 15th, there's a debate on the 15th.
Well, they're really annoyed because Tulsi Gabbard's been already rejected. And rather than just going, okay, whatever, she went, well, I wouldn't have even wanted to go to it anyway.
Yeah.
So she's basically done the equivalent of, you can't fire me, I quit.
I quit. Yeah, that one.
You've got one delegate. You've got one more delegate than me, and I haven't tried.
She's voting for Putin. Come on.
Oh, no. She's not going to vote for him. She's just going to vote present.
Ooh. There we go. There's the great seal of the great state of Wisconsin. We're not actually going till April. It'll be well and truly over by the time I get to vote.
Yeah.
So
then Connecticut, Delaware, Maryland, New York, Pennsylvania, and Rhode Island. Very northeastern.
Yeah, to wrap it up. Yes.
Now there's still loads after that. Guam.
Yeah, Kansas. Nobody cares about Kansas.
Kansas
Indiana.
Party run primary. What?
I don't. So yeah.
Who's the last? Who's the last to go? The Virgin Islands.
Yeah, Virgin Islands. District of Columbia are pretty late too. Montana, New Jersey. Why is New Jersey so late? South Dakota.
Because who gives a fuck what New Jersey has to say?
So, and technically, it's not. It could all come down to the Virgin Islands on June 6th.
That would be amazing. Imagine that. Imagine if it came down to them, and then both Bernie and fucking Biden have to turn up in the Virgin Islands, like doubling its population.
See if they also get 6 delegates.
11.
Yep. 6 pledged delegates and 5 unpledged. PLEO delegates. 4 members of the Democratic National Committee, and a non-voting delegate. All right. So who knows?
See, it's complicated when you've got
Territories.
Imperialist territory, yeah.
Yeah. You'd know about all that. Oh, wait, you don't let them vote.
Yeah, fuck that. The Falkland Islands, sit the fuck down. Although, well, we let Gibraltar's
I was just going to say.
Because Carl went there.
Well, that was in the EU election, but do they get to vote in domestic and
they do for well, they did for European elections, both in terms of Brexit and European elections. They don't have, I don't think they have a seat in Parliament. I think they must have some sort of local council, and they're classified as British territory. So they're sort of, yeah, we kind of do it occasionally, but then kind of not. But who cares? It's not our land. We've just stolen it. And you're not getting it back because they're just never going. It's never going to happen.
Yeah.
So.
Mike Balla has been doing some research while we've been chatting. He said the North Dakota primary article has info on their process. So if people are interested in the firehouse thing, it is getting past pumpkin hour here, so I should probably get on to bed. This was a very late and spontaneous.
No, you need to read about the North Dakota fire truck primary or whatever the fuck it was.
That's your homework, and then next time we'll talk about that.
No. I don't do homework. I got out of school ages ago. I'm a big boy now. Every day's a
school day. Like today we learned about the Firehouse Caucus.
Well, we learned it exists. We didn't learn about it.
Yeah.
I'm as ignorant now of the process as I ever have been.
All right, this is the last one, though, and then we're going to log off.
Oh, no, you don't know. No, I was only joking. I'm going to fuck that noise. Who cares? It's North Dakota. I mean, I literally said North Dakota as a joke, and it was true.
And it had a Firehouse Caucus.
And it had a firehouse, because fuck it, why not? Let's get trippy with it. We're just going to hold one in a field, call it the Field Caucus.
You know, like maybe they just thought every town would have a firehouse, because, you know, modernity. Even in North Dakota.
It's North Dakota. What are you talking about?
And even like in the 19th century, they probably still had firehouses, and it was like, okay, it just became the tradition. I don't know. I'm making up stuff now. Fire truck cactus.
The silent movie caucus and the cotton gin caucus.
The warehouse caucus.
Yeah. The steam train caucus.
This is all nonsense. All right.
Is it any more nonsense than the Firehouse Caucus? I don't think so.
Yeah, probably not. It's all nonsense. All right.
And it can't be any worse than the fucking shit show Iowa put on. Jesus. Do you remember that?
Nobody remembers that now, which is, I was so happy. Nobody remembers that.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's just like, oh,
forget about
fuck for that.
Forget. These are not the votes you're looking for.
Yeah.
So what about you, Kev? When's that Keck episode coming out? Is there a Keck episode coming?
That's complicated. We'll talk about it off air.
Okay. Anything else coming up on your channel you want people to know about?
I'm making my way through the history thing, but it's weird when you have to put lots of energy or lots of effort into making it look and sound good. It takes a lot longer.
Yeah, I heard that works for your body too, which is why I stopped putting effort in.
Exactly. Yeah. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I mean, feeling healthy is nice. Looking good is nice, but is it as nice as bacon?
And on that bombshell.
Yeah.
All right. Well, keep an eye out on Kev's channel for this video that's going to come at some point.
Well, it's not even going on my main channel. I'm starting a completely different channel. I've still got to do the. Well, I've got the artwork. I just haven't put it up as the thing yet. I've got various images. I've basically done what I've done for when I host the happy hour, but with me replacing historical figures like Julius Caesar and the Sphinx.
Nice. I like it. I want to see your face on the Sphinx. Which face did you pull?
Just random pictures that I got from myself on social media. I just pull up random pictures and think that's a silly face. That'll do.
Excellent. So we'll keep an eye out and look forward with bated breath to that.
Jamie J, I will happily be on the SJA thing with yourself and old Frenchie McFrenchie and some random geek whenever.
Yeah,
whenever you would want me.
Jamie, I hope you don't feel like we've dragged out stuff and made a drama out of it. I hope, again, there was a timing issue. But in some ways, if there wasn't a proper apology, then people should know that. Know that you feel like
Kristi,
that.
stop being pleasant.
Okay.
There you
So,
go.
on the bacon and the pleasantness bombshell, I don't know.
What have you got coming up on your channel, Kristi?
I don't know, either a happy hour or a weekend thing. That's kind of
Yeah.
back in copyright videos, which I uploaded to my channel, by the way.
Which is really boring.
Yeah, that's pretty boring. All right, well, keep an eye out for Kevin's stuff and keep out for our happy hour because you never know when they're going to appear. Thanks to the people in chat.
Exactly.
You guys have been awesome. Thanks for people in the future watching all the way to the end. Thanks for the backup, too, for all of those guys checking on us in the chat. Goodbye from me and goodbye from Kev. So say Kev.
I know. I won't say that. Get me words. I will do word bits, not pig noises.
Boobity boobity boobity.
Bubbity bubbity bubbity.
Nice. He did the bit.
I did the bit.
Bye.